At the very beginning, I lost my father at 7, right? To suicide. And I was always looking for answers on just different things. And so over time, my uncles or ROTC instructors, big brothers and sisters, pastors, folks like that, I would talk to or really dial in and listen to some of the things they would say, or, how they would dress, which shirts go with which shoes, and, which tie goes with which jacket and stuff like that. And so I think that's where I probably first started to develop a hunger for mentorship, as I was just trying to become a man. And then once I entered the corporate world, it didn't take too long for me to start to recognize that there were things that I just didn't know on how to navigate through corporate America. I received great training. I was great at my job. But, I think something that's, it was true 18 years ago, it's even more true today, is that education plus experience does not equal advancement. And I think the thing that brings those two together is mentorship. For me, mentoring has been everything. Whatever success I've had, it has come by way of mentoring. And because of that, I'm dedicated to mentor others. I feel like, however tough my journey may have been, whatever hard lessons I had to learn, hopefully for the next group of leaders that are coming and blazing their own paths, it shouldn't be as difficult for them. And therefore, they should be able to go further and faster than I did, right? And I'm always eager to see that happen, right? That's what energizes me. Over time, I've realized that, in school, they'll tell you 1 + 1 = 2, right? I think in mentoring, 1 and 1 make 11. And that's the cheat codes. That's how you get ahead, right? Is we, whether a mentor or a mentee, a protege, step into a mentoring relationship with that in mind, that 1 and 1 is going to equal 11. And you're going to bring your A game, and you're meeting with someone who's already proven that they have an A game. Then I think you get the multiplier effect. There's probably very few things you can't do alone, right? You can fail alone. But if you want to be successful, there's very few things you can do alone. And so I just don't know how you do advance without taking a moment to go talk to some of the folks that really understand different aspects of whatever it is that you're trying to do. I tell you, my mother is my hero. She retired after 34 years at the post office. She went and got her degree in a year and a half, graduated summa cum laude with a master's in a year. It's just like, Jesus, Mom. And her guidance to me when she saw that I had aspirations in corporate America was, she said, listen, and she calls me by my middle name, Chris. She says, Chris, listen, people don't care what you know until they first know that you care. Dropping your ego, mentee or mentor, right, is essential, I think, in order to get that spark to accomplish that mentor math, that 1 and 1 = 11. You can learn from anyone. I remember I used to work in a data center. We had a $2 million leak detection system. I mean, it's state-of-the-art stuff there, right? You do a hand scan to get in the building. It's amazing. But when it would rain, you'd be a little nervous because you don't want water coming through the roof and You don't know if something works until you test it. And in Texas, the rain will test you. And so every now and then, there may be a leak that you'd find somewhere. And the way you'd find it typically wasn't from the leak detection. It was from the janitor, right? We learned a lot listening to her, right? This has nothing to do with hierarchy, right? This has everything to do with perspective. And so I think if we can humble ourselves to be open to learn from anyone, then when you seek out a mentor, someone who theoretically you probably aspire to be or is inspiring to you, right? You definitely have to drop the ego at the door. It just doesn't have a place. And you hope also that the mentor drops their ego and is vulnerable as well. And so what I've done over time is I've tried to bring the best me I could to a mentoring relationship. I would go into it as humble as I could be, knowing that I am here because I already believe I can be better. So there's something for me to learn, right? Setting that stage, I think, makes it a little conducive. It makes a great environment for that mentor to go there, right? If you really want to go here, then let's go there. A lot of times, we see a popular leader and we want that person to be our mentor, right? What I would say is I'd probably set that aside for just a moment, and I would go and start small. You might want to do just a little bit of research. So like, AT&T has a lot of events. And at any of these events, you can run into a number of vice presidents and officers and so forth. And if you know a little bit about that person or that person's organization, well, now you can start a discussion that's comfortable for them. So if I run into a VP that's on the network team and I say, hey, I see that 5G is going to be deployed across half the country by next year. That's awesome, right? How are you guys able to do that? Well, now that's a very comfortable icebreaker for that person. But I did a little bit of research to at least know this person is associated to that wireless network. So now they're sharing with me their story on how we're able to go accomplish that, right? Usually after they give a spiel, they say, well, what do you do? Another comfortable, setting to explain whatever it is that I or you do. And from there, it's, hey, I had a great conversation with you. I don't want to take up all your time. Do you mind if I connect with you maybe after this? Sure. The person at the top of the hierarchy has a small circle of trust, right? And those folks are probably more important to know than the person at the top, right? Because the person at the top is going to trust their circle on those types of decisions. Hey, I don't know this person, do you? And if they say, yes, I know this person, I vouch for them, right? That carries way more weight than you trying to go in and impress this person yourself. Maybe you can impress them that much, but for someone they've known 5, 10, 15 years to vouch for you, that's priceless, right? We live in crazy times right now. They say that it took the television 38 years to reach 50 million people. It took the radio 38 years. It took television 13. It took the internet 4. It took Facebook, the iPod 3, and took Facebook 2, right? That's incredibly fast. We will reach half of the United States with 5G by 2020. Most folks don't even know what 5G is yet, right? We're talking about, in less than a year almost. It's crazy. You think about the top 10 jobs right now are jobs that probably didn't exist 10 years ago. So kids are going to school to study for something that doesn't even exist yet, right? If you start looking globally, I think they say that India has more honor students than we have kids in the United States. It's crazy. Why does mentorship help AT&T? Look, the pace of innovation, the pace of change is so accelerated, so daunting that you need your entire company to hit the fast forward button, right? You need your new hire to get the wisdom of your experienced. You need this virtuous cycle of knowledge sharing to go so fast. By the time it's written in a textbook, it's already outdated. There is a ton of wisdom from various experiences that folks have been through that you just cannot get in a classroom. When I think about mentoring and leveraging the resources, and our employee groups are, really a crown jewel to that. There are leaders around here, you could quantify their time in the millions or billions of dollars. How do you get access to those folks? Well, once a month, they're willing to set aside an hour of their time to meet with a random group of people who happen to be engaged, motivated, and inspired, humble enough to admit to themselves that they could be a better person, they could be a better leader. There's something that they don't know that they're willing to learn. Every month in that circle, there's one person who can't miss it, the mentor, so they'll be there. How do you get access to that person? Well, I think an employee group is probably the fastest way to get there. And so if you're serious about mentoring, I would say the first step would be to use what's right in front of you. Join an employee group. Join a mentoring circle program. Go in, eyes wide open, go in prepared. Leave your ego at the door. And get ready to become a better you.